There is a terrifying silence surrounding you right now, but let me be very clear. This is not the silence of defeat. It is not the silence of submission. For the first time in your entire life, this is the silence of power. You have stopped explaining yourself. And because you have stopped, the entire atmosphere around you has shifted. You can feel it in your chest. You can feel it in the air pressure of your home. Something major has broken, but it wasn't you. What broke was the cord that tethered your divine worth to their limited understanding. Let's look at where you are right this second. I am speaking to the one who is listening to this alone, perhaps in the dark, wondering if they have gone cold. You used to be the one who wrote the long paragraphs. You were the one who would stay up until 3 a.m., desperate to make them understand your heart. You would dissect every argument, every misunderstanding, trying to find the perfect combination of words that would finally make them say, "Oh, I see you now, I'm sorry." You spent years, decades perhaps, bleeding your energy into people who were committed to misunderstanding you. You were the over-explainer, the peacemaker, the one who thought that if you just explained your intentions one more time, the conflict would end. But recently, something snapped. It wasn't a loud snap. It wasn't a dramatic explosion. It was a quiet, internal realization that hit you like a heavy wave. You looked at the person trying to provoke you, or you looked at the situation trying to drain you, and you simply couldn't do it anymore. Your throat chakra closed up. Your mind went blank. You didn't argue. You didn't defend. You just stared. Or maybe you just walked away. This is the symptom of the shift. Physically, you might feel a strange heaviness in your body, a kind of lethargy that feels like depression, but it isn't. It is conservation. Your body is literally recalling its energy. For years, you have been leaking your life force, projecting it outward into the void of the matrix, trying to illuminate people who prefer the dark. Now that energy is returning to you. And because your vessel isn't used to holding all its own power, you feel heavy, you feel tired, you feel done. Emotionally, you're experiencing a detachment that feels almost robotic. This scares you, doesn't it? You, the empath, the one who feels everything, suddenly feels nothing toward them. You see their drama, their chaos, their urgent need for a reaction, and you feel a flat line. You might be asking yourself, have I lost my compassion? Have I become cold? Have I become one of them? No, you have simply graduated. You see, the matrix operates on a loop of action and reaction. The narcissist, the energy vampire, the toxic family member, they feed on the frequency of your defense. When you explain yourself, you're validating their false reality. When you defend your character, you are agreeing that your character is up for debate. The moment you stopped explaining, you stepped out of their reality and fully into your own. But this transition is violent to the spirit before it becomes peaceful. You are feeling the withdrawal symptoms of codependency. You are feeling the phantom limb of your old self that wants to reach out and fix things. You might feel a vibration in your solar plexus, an anxiety that says, if I don't say something, they will think I'm guilty. If I don't correct the narrative, they will lie about me. Let them lie. Let them think what they want. This is the shift you are feeling. It is the distinct sensation of your energetic field hardening. It is becoming a diamond. Before, your energy was like water, fluid, rushing into every crack, trying to fill the emotional voids of everyone around you. Now, under the pressure of this awakening, that water has compressed into something solid. You are no longer permeable. You are no longer available for the consumption of low vibrational entities. This silence you are holding is actually a high-frequency weapon. To the blind, it looks like arrogance. To the wounded, it looks like abandonment. But to the spirit, it is boundaries. Notice how the air feels different when you enter a room now. Notice how people stumble over their words when they talk to you because you aren't feeding them the script they expect. You aren't playing the role of the victim or the martyr or the fixer anymore. You are just being. This is why you feel so alone right now. You have stopped harmonizing with the noise of the world. You are vibrating at a frequency of truth, and truth does not need to explain itself. Truth simply exists. But you need to understand why this is happening now. Why, after all these years, has the urge to explain suddenly died? It is because your spirit team has intervened. They have looked at your timeline, they have looked at your energy reserves, and they have issued a command to your soul. Stop casting your pearls before swine. The symptoms you are feeling, the tightness in the throat, the aversion to drama, the desire to isolate, are not sickness. They are the recalibration of a chosen one who is preparing to wield true power. You are not shutting down, you are charging up. Why is this happening now? Why has the universe suddenly sewn your lips shut? You need to understand that this is not a psychological burnout. This is a divine mandate. This is an override from your higher self. For years, you operated under a false spiritual contract. You believed that because you were chosen, because you carried the light, it was your duty to make the darkness understand you. You believed that if you shone bright enough, explained clearly enough, and loved hard enough, the demons in others would bow down to the angel in you. But the Spirit is showing you a harsh truth right now. You cannot explain light to those who are committed to blindness. The spiritual cause of this shift is that you have been promoted, and in this new rank of spiritual authority, the act of explaining is actually an act of lowering your frequency. Listen closely to the mechanics of this. Everything is energy. Words are containers for energy. When you are in your power, your energy flows upward, connecting you to source. But when you stop to explain yourself to a narcissist or a commitment phobe or a toxic family member, you are taking your high-frequency energy and you are channeling it downward into the mud. You are attempting to pour the ocean into a thimble. The spiritual reason you can no longer do this is because the entities attached to these people are not looking for understanding. They are looking for food. This is the dark secret the Matrix doesn't want you to know. When you engage in the cycle of JAD, justify, argue, defend, explain, you are preparing a feast for the demonic attachments within them. Have you ever noticed that the more you explain, the more confused they seem to get? The more you try to clarify, the more they twist your words. That is not an accident. That is a feeding mechanism. Every time you get frustrated, every time your heart races, every time you cry, tears of desperation, trying to be heard, you are releasing loosh. You are releasing potent emotional energy. The entity attached to them feeds on that frustration. They don't want your resolution. They want your reaction. They want to keep the loop open forever because as long as you are explaining, you are engaged. And as long as you are engaged, they are eating. God has stepped in. The universe has stepped in. Your ancestors have stepped in. They saw you withering away. They saw your light dimming because you were feeding it to the void. So they cut the cord. That physical inability to speak, that sudden exhaustion when a conflict starts, that is your spirit team physically blocking you from feeding the enemy. They are literally gagging you to save your life. You have entered a season of sovereignty. In the spiritual realm, a sovereign being does not ask for permission to exist. When you explain yourself, you are subtly asking for permission. You are saying, please agree with my reality so that I can feel okay. The universe is saying, no. You are being pushed into a vibration where your existence is self-evident. Does the sun explain why it shines? Does the lion explain why it hunts? No, they simply are. By forcing you into silence, God is forcing you to validate yourself. Furthermore, you are being separated from the 3D timeline. In the 3D world, the world of ego, hierarchy, and manipulation, words are used as weapons and shields. But you are ascending to a 5D consciousness. In 5D, communication is telepathic. It is energetic. It is based on knowing. In this higher frequency, if someone misunderstands you, it is because they are not on your frequency. No amount of words can bridge a gap that is vibrational. You could write them a book, and they would only read the typos.
The spiritual cause is simple. The harvest is over.
For a long time, you were planting seeds. You were watering rocks, hoping they would bloom. But the season has changed. You are now in the season of harvest. You are meant to collect your energy, not scatter it. The silence you feel is the sound of the vault door closing. You are locking your energy inside your own temple. You are no longer a public utility. You are no longer a free emotional rehabilitation center for toxic people. This feels heavy because you are breaking a generational curse of servitude. You come from a line of people, perhaps your mother, your grandmother, who had to explain themselves to survive, who had to apologize for taking up space. You are the one chosen to break that chain.
The pain you feel is the death of the people-pleaser archetype. It is the death of the scapegoat.
And let me tell you, nothing terrifies the dark more than a chosen one who has gone silent. Because when you are talking, they know where you are. When you are explaining, they know how to manipulate you. But when you are silent, you become unpredictable. You become a mirror. And that leads us to exactly how they are reacting to this new version of you. Now let's look at what is happening around you. Because as you have gone silent, the world around you has likely gotten loud.
Have you noticed the shift in them?
The moment you stopped explaining, you sent a shock wave through your immediate environment. You disrupted the ecosystem of dysfunction. You see, the people who drain you, the narcissists, the energy vampires, the unconscious matrix agents, they rely on your predictability. They rely on the fact that if they push a button, you will jump. If they accuse you, you will defend. If they act cold, you will chase. They have a manual on how to control you. But when you stopped explaining, you burned that manual.
And now they are panicking.
You're currently witnessing what psychologists call an extinction burst. But spiritually, it is much deeper than that. It is the thrashing of a starving entity. Because you have cut off the supply of your energy, they are trying everything to get a reaction. They are throwing tantrums. They are sending long, accusatory texts. They are bringing up mistakes you made 10 years ago. They are switching rapidly between playing the victim and playing the bully. They are checking the wiring. They are flipping the switches, trying to see if the machine is broken. They are thinking, why isn't she crying? Why isn't he arguing back? Why doesn't this hurt them anymore? Their reaction is not about love. It is about control. When you're silent, you become a blank screen. And on a blank screen, a projector has no choice but to show its own movie. Without your words to distract them, without your apologies to soothe them, they are forced to look at themselves. Your silence acts as a high-definition mirror. When you simply look at them without speaking, you are reflecting their demons back at them. They hate this. They cannot stand the reflection of their own emptiness. That is why they are calling you arrogant. That is why they are telling people you have changed. That is why they are accusing you of thinking you are better than everyone else. Let me validate you right now. You are not being arrogant. You are being impenetrable. The Matrix hates what it cannot penetrate. You might notice that people are suddenly falling out of your life. Friends you've had for years are suddenly distant, or they are starting arguments over nothing. This is the trash taking itself out. Your new frequency is irritating their demons. Imagine a high-pitched frequency that only dogs can hear. Your silence is a spiritual frequency that only those with dark intentions can hear. It rings in their ears. It makes them uncomfortable in your presence. They can't relax around you anymore because they can't feed off you. You are no longer a source of narcissistic supply. You are a source of truth. And notice this dynamic. The less you say, the more they reveal. Have you seen this lately? Because you aren't interrupting them to defend yourself, they keep talking, and they keep talking, and eventually they tell on themselves. They reveal their true intentions. They reveal their jealousy. They reveal their plot. Your silence has given them enough rope to hang themselves. This
is the power of the chosen silence. It forces the hidden things to come to light. Before, your noise allowed them to hide. Your over-explanation gave them cover. You would say, "I didn't mean to hurt you," and they would latch onto that and say, "See, you hurt me." Now you say nothing, and there is nowhere for them to hide.
Do not be afraid of their anger during this phase. Their anger is a sign that you are winning. If you were powerless, they wouldn't be angry. They would be indifferent. They are angry because they can feel the hierarchy shifting. They can feel that you are no longer the subordinate. You are becoming the master of your reality. They're trying to bait you back into the old timeline. They might say things specifically designed to trigger your deepest insecurities. They know exactly where to poke, but you must remain the observer.
Watch them. Watch them spin out. Watch them project, but do not engage. You are the eye of the storm. Let the winds howl around you. Let the debris fly. You sit in the center, in the stillness, in the silence. You are safe there.
They are reacting to a loss of access. You have revoked their VIP pass to your soul. And like a celebrity who has been kicked out of an exclusive club, they are screaming at the bouncer.
Let them scream. You stay inside. The shift is real. The power dynamic has flipped. You are no longer the hunted. You are the unmovable object. And this terrifies them more than any scream, any argument, or any fight ever could. Your silence is not empty. It is heavy with the presence of God, and they know it. We have spoken about the symptoms, the cause, and the enemy. But now we must go deeper. We must look at the divine jurisprudence, the spiritual laws that govern this universe. You are not just setting boundaries. You are undergoing a fundamental metamorphosis of your soul's rank. In the ancient schools of wisdom, there is a stage of initiation known as the silentium. It is the stage where the initiate is forbidden to speak, forbidden to defend, and forbidden to explain. Why? Because the masters knew a secret that the modern world has forgotten. Power leaks through the tongue. The metaphysical truth is that you are moving from the archetype of the warrior to the archetype of the sovereign. The warrior fights. The warrior screams. The warrior meets force with force. For a long time, you needed to be the warrior. You had to fight for your sanity, fight to be heard, fight to survive your childhood or your past relationships.
But a king or a queen does not fight in the mud. A king does not step off his throne to argue with a peasant about whether or not he is the king. If he does that, he has already lost his authority.
God is placing a mantle of authority on your shoulders.
This mantle is heavy. It requires posture. It requires dignity. And most importantly, it requires that you stop engaging with energy that is beneath your station.
The universe is teaching you the law of resonance. You have spent years trying to use the law of force, trying to force people to see you, force people to change. But the law of force is weak. It is exhausting.
The law of resonance states, you do not get what you want. You get what you are. When you explain yourself, you are vibrating at the frequency of I am misunderstood. And the universe, which is a giant copying machine, says, okay, you are misunderstood, and it sends you more people who misunderstand you. By going silent, you are breaking the mirror. You are vibrating at the frequency of I am, not I am this or I am that. Just I am. This is the vibration of God's source. This is the frequency of pure existence. When you embody this, you stop chasing. And when you stop chasing, you start attracting. This is why the silence feels so powerful, yet so strange. You are switching your engine from manual push to magnetic pull. Let's look at the theology of this. Look at the greatest archetype of the chosen one, Jesus of Nazareth, when he stood before Pontius Pilate, the representative of the matrix, the government, the worldly power. Pilate asked him many questions. Pilate accused him. The crowd screamed lies about him. And what does the scripture say?
But he answered him not a word. He didn't explain his divinity. He didn't argue his innocence. He didn't try to make Pilate understand the plan of salvation. Why? Because Pilate was not equipped to understand. Jesus knew that his power did not come from Pilate's validation. It came from his Father. You are walking in those same footsteps.
Your silence is your crucifixion of the ego. The ego wants to be right. The ego wants the last word. The ego wants to win the argument, but your spirit wants peace. There is also a biological component to this deep dive. Your DNA is currently activating. You are moving from a carbon-based consciousness to a crystalline consciousness. This process requires an immense amount of electromagnetic energy. Every time you get into a circular argument, you blow a fuse. You short-circuit your own ascension process. You are literally burning the fuel that was meant to heal your body and open your third eye.
God has shut your mouth to save your energy for the miracle.
You are pregnant with a new timeline. You are pregnant with a new version of yourself. And just like a mother protects her unborn child, you must protect this new version of you. You cannot expose it to the toxicity of people who want to abort your destiny.
Your silence is the womb. It is the protective shell.
Inside this silence, you are hearing God clearly for the first time. Have you noticed? Since you stopped arguing with them, you have started talking more to Him. Your intuition is sharper. Your dreams are more vivid. The synchronicities are getting faster.
This is because you have cleared the static. You are no longer broadcasting on the frequency of defense. You are now broadcasting on the frequency of reception. Do not let the world fool you into thinking you are losing. In the kingdom of God, the one who holds their tongue is the one who holds the city. He who guards his mouth and his tongue keeps himself from calamity. You are not just avoiding arguments, you are avoiding calamities. You are sidestepping the traps the enemy laid for you. They dug a pit for you, hoping you would talk your way into it. But you stood still, and now they are falling into it themselves.
Embrace the
This
celestial
is the ultimate truth.
The stars reveal
You
their
have stopped
secrets to the
explaining
pure
because
in
you have
heart.
finally realized that you are the explanation. Your life, your fruit, your light, your survival. That is the testimony. You don't need to caption a masterpiece. You just unveil it.
You have received the download. You understand the symptoms, the cause, and the power of this shift. Now we must seal this knowledge into your spirit so that you do not backslide when the enemy tests you.
And make no mistake, you will be tested.
The moment you click off this video, the Matrix will send a distraction. A text will pop up. A family member will make a snide comment. A memory will flood your brain, urging you to reach out and fix things. You need a strategy. You need a spiritual protocol for when the urge to explain rises up in your throat like bile. Step 1, the 7-second pause. When they trigger you, your programming commands you to respond immediately. You must override this. When the accusation comes, I want you to physically count to 7 in your head. In those 7 seconds, you're not thinking of a comeback. You are visualizing a heavy golden gate slamming shut in front of your mouth. This is not just a mental trick. It is an energy block. You are denying the entity the immediate loosh it craves. Usually, by the 7th second, the urge to explain will die, and you will see the situation for what it is, a trap. Step 2, the return to sender, visualization. As they speak their lies or their confusion, visualize their words as black arrows coming towards you. But instead of hitting your skin, visualize your aura as a mirror. See the arrows hitting the mirror and bouncing instantly back into their own throat. You do not need to say, "You are lying." The mirror does the work for you. Their energy returns to them. Let them choke on their own negativity. Step 3, the mantra of sovereignty.
When you feel guilty for your silence, when that good person programming kicks in, I want you to say this internally. My silence is my shield. My peace is my price. If they cannot afford the price of peace, they cannot have access to you. Now we are going to activate this shift permanently. I need you to get comfortable. If you can, place your right hand over your throat chakra, right at the base of your neck. This is where the blockage has been. This is where the trauma of not being heard lives. We are going to clear it. We are going to lock the door. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose, pulling the air all the way down to the base of your spine. Hold it. And exhale, releasing the need to be right. Releasing the need to be understood. Listen to my voice. I am speaking to your spirit. The prayer of the silent sovereign. Divine Creator, source of all truth and guardian of my soul. I come to you today as your chosen vessel. I acknowledge that I have been leaking my light. I acknowledge that I have cast my pearls before those who could not see their value. I forgive myself for every time I tried to explain your glory to a blind world. But today, I end the contract of explanation. I hereby sever the cord between my worth and their understanding. I cut the etheric ties to every narcissist, every energy vampire, and every commitment phobe who has demanded my energy without honoring my spirit. I command my throat chakra to be aligned with divine truth. I seal my lips from the folly of the ego. From this moment forward, I speak only with purpose. I speak only with power. I speak only when spirit moves me. I reclaim the energy I lost in the arguments. I call back the pieces of my soul I left in the text messages, in the late-night pleading, in the tears of frustration. I call it all back right now. Return to me. Return to me washed. Return to me purified. I cloak myself in the armor of silence. Let my quietness be a loud thunder to the enemy. Let my stillness be a terrifying mirror to the wicked. I do not need to prove who I am. I am that I am. The shift is complete. The cycle is broken. I am free. And so it is. Breathe that in. Feel the weight lifting off your chest. Feel the coolness in your throat. That is the feeling of freedom.
You are dangerous now, not because you are violent, but because you are self-contained. You have the keys to your own temple, and you have finally realized that you have the right to lock the door.
Walk in this silence. Wear it like a crown. Let them wonder what you are thinking. Let them guess. Let them panic. You just keep building your empire.
If you felt that lock click into place, if you felt that energy return to your body, I want you to seal this in the physical realm.
Go to the comments right now and write, I am done explaining. Write it in all caps. Shout it into the digital ether. Let the universe know you are serious. This is your decree.
And if you are ready to master this power, if you are ready to learn how to use your energy, to manifest instead of defend, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. The next transmission is going to show you what happens when you take that saved energy and direct it towards your destiny.
You are chosen, you are protected, and now you are silent. I will see you in the next reality.